It's funny how many different types of online testing there is for color analysis.
I know. One of the first ones that I think we kind of both looked into was the vein test. And we tried that and it just did not work.
No, we went outside like fools and we stood in the
Look.
sunlight and we were trying to look at our veins to determine if they were green or blue, which is kind of what it says. And we couldn't tell.
No.
I mean,
and we couldn't tell inside either.
No. And it's just dependent on really how deep your veins are too,
Right.
because they look different. Like the same, I don't know if it's the same vein, but your veins can look a different color, like this part of your arm than here.
It definitely does. And mine are kind of both green and blue. So then it's just like, what do you go off of?
Right. So I think wasn't it green was warm?
I think
and blue
was warm
cool.
and blue was cool.
So we were trying to determine by that, and it was just impossible.
No,
now, I will
no
say
way.
that we could tell the difference between the colors of our veins.
Right. We could.
But they were just a different green-blue on each person.
And it may be like that any person ever.
Yeah, I know. We only compared our own, so it's hard to say.
And it's so much harder, too, because it does depend on the lighting. And it depends on just, I think, your individual skin. Some people's skin's deeper. Some people's skin's just different colors. So I think it really just...
And sun exposure, because you get a lot of sun exposure to this part of your arm. So that could be dependent on that as well.
Right. So that I just do not think, we definitely know it does not work.
And then the next one is, we've seen this on Etsy and other places online. It's like, send me your selfie and I'll determine, and they compare it to like the online Canva template cutouts of different colors.
And there's just no way at all that could ever be, ever work. I've kind of always felt like that was a little scammy.
Yeah,
a little gimmicky, just because, I mean, we know that you can't just look at someone and know, but I mean, the average person maybe does not know that.
Right, no, and it's pricey too.
Right.
I mean, the ones I've seen have been like $80.
Right.
Which is what we sell our essential kit for.
But you can do multiple people.
You send in a picture, and truly, like, we know, because when we're taking selfies, we go and try, I do anyway. Right. I try to get in the natural sunlight, and I take it kind of in a few different directions to see
which ones you look best.
Yeah.
Because the lighting does play, again, like we said earlier, the lighting plays a huge role in how you look.
So if you stood there and you went all the way around in a 360-degree circle and you took a picture, you could be each of those seasons depending on which direction and how the camera's capturing it.
Also, I don't know if they say don't wear makeup, but I think some people might still want to wear a little bit of makeup because they want to look good in their picture. Or so many people now use filters, and it's just like, are you sending in a filtered photo? Are you sending in, there's so much stuff that alters would make just a huge difference.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've even noticed, like, on my camera setting when I've been taking pictures, there's a setting, like, hidden in the settings that adjust warm to cool, the tone. And so on my last vacation, there was a lady, she's like, your camera takes so much better pictures than mine does, and hers was like a warm tone. And I was like, we had the exact same phone, the exact same, we're taking at the same place in the same lighting, and mine looked more cool than hers. So yeah, the photos just don't work. And I looked it up, and there's like some kind of setting in there because mine was doing warm too, and I went in and changed it. Yes, but I couldn't remember how to do it because it's kind of like in there, it's not
right. And I think lighting too just really makes a huge difference. And then just, you look different in any picture you take. You can take a picture 5 times during the same day, same makeup, same everything, and you're just going to look completely different. That's just how people are.
Right. I also think probably they're also going a little bit by your hair color and eye color.
Yeah, I think so too. And we know that does not work.
Yes, we know it doesn't work, but it would kind of make sense for them to try to use that as a starting point.
Because how else do they know? I mean, I really don't even know how they would even go about starting. It's really just kind of like you're probably a winter, but there's just no way that they could actually know that.
Right. I don't think so either. And so I do feel like that's a little bit of sketchy on their part to do that. It's a way for them to make a quick buck and not really put anything into it. And they probably don't have any credentials behind them either.
Probably. Because we just wouldn't be able to, because they would just know. I think if they had the credentials to be able to say your whatever seasons, because I know my seasons, they would know that doesn't work.
Right, yeah.
So
I bet if you did it multiple times to different people, you would get different results. I've wanted to do that, but I just don't want to pay the money to do it.
Right, because it's so outrageous. I mean, it really is so expensive for what you get.
Yes, it is. So anyway, and then there's the professional.
Right.
And so how do you feel about the professional?
I think if you do not feel confident in doing it yourself, if you don't want to do, like, get one of our kits, get one of the other draping kits, which there are none, one of the other color analysis kits at home, definitely go see a professional, because I mean, we started out with a professional. We had a professional do ours. We kind of learned a little bit about it, and then we took that and ran with the research, really dug into what each season is, what makes the season, what the colors are, how it works, the science of that. But definitely the professionals are a good way to go. It is expensive.
Yeah, I think that's the downside of a professional is, I mean, it's $500 plus to go, and that's for one person. I mean, and it's time consuming, so you're looking at a couple hours for that, and scheduling in that time in your day. And then another thing is maybe just location where you're at, if it's available near you.
Right, because ours, we live in a big city in our state, one of the biggest. And we didn't have anyone close. There wasn't even anyone really in our state, was there?
No, I think there may have been like one.
But they were farther out.
Yeah, it was at least an hour and a half away.
Yeah, and so the people we had do ours was still an hour and a half away. And somehow they were closest because they made us do the closest one. But that, I mean, it really depends on where you're at. You could be the only person that is able to do it if you do it yourself, because there just may not be someone else to do it.
Yeah, that's true. So that's probably, I would say that's probably the only negatives about the professional.
I would say negatives.
It's definitely a way to go. I will say, when you're doing a professional, they don't explain it to you. Right. Now, maybe some of them do, but the ones we went to, they didn't explain it. They're draping, and you can see the difference when you're draping, like they're draping it, but you're waiting and anticipating for them to tell you which, but they won't.
And they're not telling you either, like, oh, look at your skin, look how much better your skin, look how much more color you have. You're just kind of like, I see a difference, but I don't know what I'm seeing.
Yes, and they didn't explain, like, okay, this color's a warm, this color's a cool. You didn't know, and I think they do that on purpose so that it makes it less confusing, because when you're draping and you're going to find out, you're going to drape a warm versus a cool, but your warm may, like, I'm a cool, but a warm may look better on me than that cool, because maybe it's a dark warm, where I'm comparing it to a light cool. Whereas, okay, that could be confusing to me. Why do I look better in a warm than a cool? Well, it turns out I'm a dark cool. So, but it would be confusing to, like, say, okay, well, this warm, you look, whereas in our kit, it's more transparent because you're filling out a form and you're actually seeing which column you look better in.
Also with our kit too, we kind of have at the very beginning kind of like just a very basic, what is color analysis, very basic, like what are undertones, what kind of splits, and they don't go into that with you. And I do think it is because it would just take so much time to explain, because it really is so deep. But so I do understand that, but we do kind of offer a little bit more explanation, I guess, on kind of why it's like that. And then we also do our videos as well, where we kind of break things down. We talk more deeply into certain subjects or certain things. I think that's helpful for a lot of people.
We definitely show, like, what we're looking for. Like, look at the whites of your eyes, look under your eyes, look at your jawline. And that wasn't really explained so much in the professional. But all that, I did enjoy the professional.
I think they were great. We had great people. They were great. It was amazing just watching and really seeing the difference, because that's not something I expected. I mean, some people were really so completely obvious what they were, and so completely obvious the shift that it was just crazy to watch. It was almost like a magic trick.
Yes, and I would say it was different for each person. So we did a larger group, actually. We had them come into our home, and so some people, yes, it was just like you knew. Right. And then there were some people that it was a little bit more.
And you were a little harder.
Yeah, it was a little bit more hard to determine. But all that to say, it was fun, and I would do it again.
It was fun. I agree, and I definitely would recommend a professional if you're not comfortable doing it at yourself.
Right. And so then we created the kit just because of that, because, well, it's expensive.
And we thought it was great.
Yes. And because we could visually see, like, everybody there at our party could see a difference.
Right.
And it was like, well, we can see the difference. Why can we not just do this ourselves?
Right. And so we looked, and there was nothing like that available. And so I really think that's when we were like, okay, this is like a good idea. We need to really do some research, kind of figure everything out.
Yeah. And we took like a year to like research it, analyze it, perfect it.
Order colors, say, no, this color's not good. This color's too confusing.
Yes.
It really is a lot. It really is a science. It really is a lot of information for people.
Yeah. So I guess the difference in ours is, well, one of the benefits is it is a lot less expensive. And so you look at it, and so we have two different kits, and our essentials like $90, and that's just your basic color analysis. And then you have our premier kit, and it's maybe like $270, $280 or something like that. And that does all the subseasons, but you can use it on multiple people.
Right.
So you can use it on your whole family.
Almost like a kind of an expense up front, but you can reuse it, yes. Use it with your friends, use it really any time.
Right. And so we have the form, you can make copies of that, or we have the digital color analysis, which is easy to input and then it just automatically populates. There's no calculating and you can just use it over and over and over again. So I think that's one of the great things about ours and why some people have gotten into, using it as a side business.
Yeah, which is great too. And I do think if you're going to do an at-home kit, and I'm not just saying this because it's our kit, definitely you need a draping kit. Because none of the others on the market, we've done videos on the face frames, why those don't work, and just some of the other things, you just can't do it.
Yeah, you have to have the fabric.
Right.
And there's just something about comparing those and just seeing it come to life. So, yeah. So I guess those are kind of the differences in the kits. And then just what's that we know's out there.
Yeah, there could be another at-home draping kit somewhere. We have not found it. I have not found it, and I've looked just kind of comparing, just kind of seeing what's out there. There are a few that will do like one swatch that's like maybe has 20 colors on it, and I feel like that would be confusing too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't even see how you can do that.
Yeah.
I think one of the things about like just doing it yourself is that you see it and you know what colors look good on you. Right. I mean, you're visually seeing it. So instead of having somebody else tell you what looks good on you,
you can tell yourself.
See it. And if you see the difference, then aren't you going to feel more confident?
Right. I think so.